Welcome into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Lone Peak Football. Skin Science is a presenting sponsor of Lone Peak Football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. I'm Alex Napolis, he's Brian Brown. We are down here in the south end of the valley, Harriman, Utah. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels taking on Lone Peak. Brian, what's it like to be out here again?
Well, not quite Mr. Worldwide, but you and I are definitely statewide. Great to be back with my broadcast partner a couple weeks away. And even more so, Alex, it's great to be here tonight at Mountain Ridge to watch this, in my estimation, to quote Kyle Whittingham, premium primetime matchup tonight between Mountain Ridge and Lone Peak. Lone Peak last week, the big win over Corner Canyon. Mountain Ridge, kind of the new kid on the block in town, trying to establish that winning culture and really develop a championship mentality.
Captains meeting here at the middle of the field, shaking hands, exchanging some hugs. And Brian, look, let's take a look at this visiting side. You mentioned it. Lone Peak beating Corner Canyon, possibly one of the biggest wins in Utah football history. As I said on the Rewind show last week with Dane and Jeff, what do they have to do to replicate that performance and get a win here tonight?
Well, I'm going to quote a famous artist here and say they just got to shake it off, Alex. It was a great victory last week, but we saw that from Corner Canyon on the flip side. Huge win over IMG. They come out, don't live up to their performance standards, and Lone Peak able to knock them off. And for the Knights, it all starts on defense. It's Bot Mulatalo, it's Jaden Mayberry, it's that nasty Knights defense that really sets the tone for Lone Peak.
This defense coming to this one averaging just 15 points a game. Very impressed with that Lone Peak defense. On the other side, for the home side, the Mountain Ridge Sentinels started off the season with a win against Fremont. They beat Dixie 58-0, but then fell to the Davis Darts. So what do they have to do to maybe shake off that loss to Davis, come back and try to surprise this Lone Peak side?
Yeah, this is a younger Mountain Ridge program. They've lost a few starters from last year. Cade Uluave 2 years ago, now playing for Cal, a stellar player in the ACC. That even sounds weird to say right here on the broadcast. But this is a program that's really building in terms of youth. They are led by Taylor Higham, the linebacker, a senior, talented competitor. Kendall Wall. You know, there's plenty of talent within the program, but it's just young. And I think that's what you saw against the Davis program that's a little more experienced, a little more developed. You know, Coach Mike Mayfu came here from West Jordan. He knows how to win. He knows how to build culture, ton of experience. And I think we're going to see a good performance from them tonight.
And then talk to me a little bit about number 5, Wyatt Bingham, the junior quarterback. He has been incredibly impressive for this Mountain Ridge side so far this year.
Yeah, Bingham is a gunslinger in the true sense of the word. Had a chance to see him a little bit in the 7-on-7 season in the spring. They have a lot of confidence in him and a young receiving core as well. Have some freshman, sophomore tight ends. It's just about development for this team. And really, the high school level, so much of it comes down to confidence. And if Mountain Ridge is able to catch a few breaks early on, if Wyatt can find a rhythm, that could be a huge step for them in terms of gaining some confidence within this game and possibly shocking the world for a third straight week and upsetting the Knights.
Here come the Lone Peak Knights as they take the field. The Mountain Ridge student section letting them know that they are far from home tonight.
And as you can see on the broadcast there, those east stands a little vacant. This is a long trip for Lone Peak in terms of what they're used to. A Utah County school, part of that powerhouse region that they call the SEC of Utah high school football.
And that you also have to factor in the 7 o'clock traffic.
Yeah. It is shout out to everybody who lives in Harriman, because y'all are really fighting the fight out here. I have my nice little community in Sugar House. Just it's all golf carts and bicycles coming out here. There's a lot more traffic to deal with.
Seconds away from getting things underway here at Mountain Ridge High School as Lone Peak will kick it away to start us here in the first half. The Knights coming off that huge win against Corner Canyon. Let's see if they can replicate that performance tonight. Ball booted away, and we are underway here at Mountain Ridge High School. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the game. It'll be Mountain Ridge, the home side, taking offense first in their gray with gray helmets, and the Lone Peak Knights in the white with the white hats tonight.
Yeah, and I said it at the start of the broadcast, but the number to watch is Bot Mulatalo, the defensive end. He's just a junior, but he's 6'4", 260, Alex, and it does look like he's put in the work in the offseason. I think his future potential is likely in the interior at the next level, but they play him on the edge here, and he is a disruptor on the defense.
Here comes Wyatt Bingham for Mountain Ridge's first drive of the night. Bingham will send his receivers in motion. Empty backfield now for Bingham. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, throws out, and it's a catch. De Jong is brought down after a nice 4-yard gain there. Good start for the Sentinels.
And look, we always talk about on these broadcasts, you want to stay on schedule, right? So maybe when you're watching a broadcast that's in contrast to the NFL tonight and you see a 4-yard gain on a pass, you don't think much of it. At this level, that's exactly what you want. That's where consistency is built.
Second down coming up here for the home side. Ball on the 24-yard line. The press box over here on the west side almost shading the entire field. Just a little bit of sun over on the far side as Bingham will take the snap. And he'll hand it off. This is a nice run up the middle, and it's going to be a first down here for Mountain Ridge as Cam Beck rushing there for the first down.
Yeah, Beck not exactly a bell cow rusher, only about 70 yards averaging on the season, but you can see it right there. This is a big offensive front for Mountain Ridge. Well-coached team. They've been within the scheme for now 3 years under Coach Mayfu after just basically building the program literally from scratch.
Bingham with an empty backfield will drop back. He gets it over the middle. It's caught, brought in by Lincoln. Lincoln Twilley will be rustled down as the Sentinels crash into Lone Peak Knight territory, but there is a flag, Ryan. I believe this one will be coming back.
It does look like it's that heading in direction because it's a shame. Lincoln Twilley finds the seam and gets upfield for a big gain. And even though this one's coming back in what looks like, what's our phrase? Love and positivity.
Love and positivity,
right?
yes.
Every time we see a flag, it's love and positivity. And in the spirit of love and positivity, there was an offensive lineman out there just trying to hug a Lone Peak player.
I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah. We carried it over on the broadcast all year long. That's our phrase
love
for 2024.
Love and positivity. That's what we're out here for this season.
That's right. Now, I don't know if Coach Mayfu's necessarily feeling the same way that we are. But
first and long coming up here for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels as Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Beck. Beck cuts out to his right. Buck taking it up now as Beck gets past the 40, and he's going to be wrestled down, fumble, and it's won back by the Knights.
Boy, we got a lot going on that play as there's a flag down on the near side of the field here as well. This one at nearly the 50-yard line, kind of a weird position. I'm not sure what that one's going to be. Oh, sideline warning is what we're going to get out of that one. It does look like Mountain Ridge maintained possession after the fumble, but Alex, what a run by Beck.
Cam Beck cutting out to his right, finds green grass. And Mountain Ridge here will retain possession. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Sentinels. Ball on the 44-yard line, and we'll have another flag coming out. This one, of course, for the against the Knights.
Yeah, it's a happy hangover for the Lone Peak Knights early on, right? We talked about it. They've already given up 2 big chunk plays on this drive. It's time to put on those focus hats. Get centered. Find your chi, whatever it is that gets you focused so that you can stop this drive because Mountain Ridge is gaining momentum.
Bingham will have a change of play here at the line as Bingham and this offense looking out here to the sideline. Beck lined up in the backfield. Bingham with 2 receivers over here on the near side. Bingham will take it. He'll scramble. He breaks out and he's brought down. Nice tackle from the Lone Peak Knights. It'll be Max Hamlin on the hit.
Yeah, nice job by Hanlon to maintain integrity there. And you see Bingham trying to cut through the gap there, just not quite quick enough. And Lone Peak brought a lot of pressure on the outside there, so you have to wonder if maybe Bingham saw that. He's been in the tape room, been watching film all week long. A real mature move on his part there.
2nd and 5. After the no gain, ball on the 49-yard line for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. We'll have another flag prior to the snap. And it looks like this one will go against the Sentinels.
Yeah, early miscues here for the Sentinels are not a good thing. And I know that's Captain Obvious here. Let me tell you, the grass is green and sky is blue. But really, they started off so well, and now it's their own miscues, really, that have kept them from moving the football. So their Coach Mayfu really want to get everybody on the same page right now.
Penalties for both sides here. The story so far in this first drive for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back. The pressure's coming, and he'll just have to throw this one away in the direction of Ofisa.
Yeah, nice job by Westville Gardson there to sniff out the screen pass, and Bingham does the right thing, just buries the football. Live to play another play. Don't try and force anything. Don't get another penalty. Very savvy move by a junior quarterback.
It'll be 3rd and 11 coming up here for Mountain Ridge. Long 3rd down to go as Bingham will get it out on the screen. Ofisa will now take it up. Ofisa makes it past the 50, or at the 50. He'll be brought down. Not enough for the first down. We'll see if they decide to go for it, Brian.
Alphonse is staying out there for now, but I tell you what, Wyatt Bingham showing some real toughness, stood in the pocket there, absorbed a big blow, still able to deliver the ball, and Ofisa gets some good yardage on that play. We're seeing just a little bit of cracking with this Lone Peak defense right now.
4th down here for the Sentinels. Ball on the 50-yard line. The ball is snapped. Bingham will drop back. Bingham will throw over the middle. It hits the turf, incomplete, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Lone Peak will head out for the first time tonight.
You live by the blitz, die by the blitz, and on that one, Lone Peak thrived by the blitz as they're able to get there, put pressure on. The ball drops incomplete, and a bold move by Coach Mayfu early on in this one to go for it. I like the call personally, Alex. You're kind of in no person's land there at the 50-yard line. 5 yards, you moved the ball up to this point. But now it's time for your defense to step in and flex their muscles.
And here comes Kepa Neimalutolu as the Lone Peak Knights on offense for the first time. Kepa will keep, and he'll make it back to the line of scrimmage. No, they'll say he'll lose a yard on the first down.
And right there you see the confidence that Coach Mayfu was exhibiting in his defense. He believes that this unit is up to the task. And you mentioned Kepa, phenomenal player, just a junior this year, transferred to Lone Peak after playing last year at Alta. He's still adjusting to this Lone Peak system, this Lone Peak staff. But if you want to talk about pure talent and ability, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Just unflappable player.
This part of the game brought to you by Burt Brothers. Burt Brothers, where auto care is done better. 2nd down coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Kepa will take the snap. The flag will come out. And it looks like this one will go against the Knights.
Dead ball procedure penalty there. Just too much going on. Oh, interesting. Looks like we have encroachment, actually. A reminder that sometimes when you watch college and NFL games, the high school rules are a little bit different.
There you go. 2nd down coming up here for the Knights. 7:41 left to go here in the first quarter. All tied up at 0-0. Kepa waiting to take the snap. 3 receivers bunched up over on the far side. And a timeout taken for the Lone Peak Knights. Their first of the half.
And you can see a little bit of frustration there in the coaching staff. Not sure what the disconnect was. having to burn an early timeout. Never something you want to do as a coach, but in this instance, Alex, where you can kind of see the energy level is a little bit below what you want it to be, if you're the Lone Peak side of things, maybe a good time to call a timeout, give guys a little bit of a wake-up call, and see if you can get some points on the board here. Had a nice play early on there by the Mountain Ridge defense. And so you have to be just a little concerned if you're Lone Peak about that hangover that we talked about. And folks at home are going to hate how much I drive the point on that. But this is high school football. These kids are so much more susceptible, and I say that with emphasis. These are kids. So much more susceptible to the emotional part of the game.
After the timeout, second down coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Kepa sends a receiver in motion. He'll take the snap. He'll keep. He'll throw. Caught over here on the near side to Christensen. Christensen trying to make a move, and another flag comes out, Brian.
Yeah, Luke Christensen, who started out as a quarterback, moved out to wide receiver now as Kepa Nematalo won the job. And you can see why they liked him as a QB, right? He's an athletic football player, able to get outside, able to get upfield. And I think they're going to get some additional yardage here on that play as well.
Christensen heads over to the sideline. Checking in will be Owen McNeil for the Lone Peak Knights after the big gain for Christensen. The official's still talking it over, trying to get the spot correct before we add some penalty yardage as the flag came out after the play. It'll be unsportsmanlike conduct against Mountain Ridge.
In those situations where you see someone sometimes fighting for a little extra yards and you're trying to gang tackle a guy and get a little anticipatory and maybe pile on, you can tell early on the officials want to keep a tight hold on this game.
First down coming up here for the Knights. After that catch from Christensen, Kepa will take the snap. He'll hand it off. Up the middle, it'll be Sam Wright who is brought down. Maybe 3 on the gain, and we'll have a second down coming up here for the Knights.
Yeah, it looked like it was a good job there by Cutler Whitaker from his outside linebacker position to come up and get a stop. And this is a really good Lone Peak Knights offensive line. I'll point out number 70, Austin Pay, the 4-star tackle prospect, has offers from everybody. So if you are a connoisseur of the trenches, one to watch there.
Keep an eye on Austin Pay. Second down coming up here for the Knights. Kepa will send his tight end in motion. He'll take the snap. He's looking to throw. He gets it out, batted down by the Sentinels. That's Kendall Wall getting in on the defensive side of the ball, and it falls incomplete.
I mentioned Wall at the beginning of the broadcast, and for good reason. I believe he's committed to BYU right now. He's one of those guys that when you stand next to him on the football field, he's got the frame of a D1 football player. You see him laying the wood on that one, and kept a little bit reticent to go back to the huddle after that. I don't blame him.
Third down, and a big third down coming up here for Lone Peak. Kepa lined up in the shotgun. That'll be Sam Wright alongside him. He'll take the snap. He'll drop back over the middle. Caught and incomplete. He had it, and then it came out. Huge defensive play for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels.
Much needed stop there from Mountain Ridge. You're going to see that Lone Peak's going to elect to kick the field goal here, but really, Alex, the story is this Sentinel defense standing strong in defense of that end zone, forcing the field goal attempt here.
Brecken Carr, the senior kicker, coming out for the field goal attempt. Holding for him will be Anton Grimer. Brecken Carr will take the snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. And the Lone Peak Knights take a 3-0 lead. But again, Mountain Ridge coming up well defensively. We'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. More first quarter action when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Alex Napolis, Brian Brown, the Lone Peak Knights denied in the red zone. They'll have to settle for a field goal. 3-0 lead for the Knights. Brecken Carr will boot this one away and it will sail into the end zone and back for a touchback. Wyatt Bingham and this offense coming back out for their second drive of the night.
And it'll be interesting to see what Mountain Ridge decides to do. They had some success running the football and throwing it early on, Alex. You have to wonder if this Lone Peak defense won't try to tighten up quite a bit after some early slippage, we'll say.
This part of the game brought to you by Popular Commercial Loans. For commercial loans, call Popular Commercial Lending Group at 801-694-6281. Wyatt Bingham. They'll be lined up in the shotgun, receiver in motion, or tight end in motion. Ball snapped. He'll hand it off to Beck, and Beck is stuffed behind the line. He's going to be brought down for a loss.
Yeah, nice job there by, I believe it was Max Hamlin. And plenty of assistance there. Junior Tahi on the scene as well. Just a great job to penetrate in the backfield, stop the runner before he could get outside, and that seems to be where we found Cameron Beck finding the most success, is once he can get outside the tackle box.
Second down, Bingham will take the snap. Looking to bomb it out. He'll escape the pressure, but then he's brought down after 3 yards on the gain. Wyatt Bingham making a good move.
When we talk about staying on schedule and how important it is for an offense there, you can see why on that one. They're forced to pass, 5-step drop. Bingham has to bounce out of there. It's almost like a pinball because he was bouncing off offensive and defensive players. Able to get positive yardage out of it, though.
Third and long, empty backfield. Bingham will drop back. The pressure's coming. He'll get it over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for number 24, Ty Homestead, but it'll fall to the turf.
I'm groaning in the booth here because that's one of those passes where he had his wide receiver out there. Just the pressure starting to collapse a little bit. You wonder if maybe he didn't have a clean path to really drive the football on that one. Just falls outside of the stretch of the receiver, and they'll have to punt here.
Aiden Robinson, the punter, will be out for the Sentinels, and he'll boot this one up and away. And a late hit, a flag comes out. Mountain Ridge might keep this one, Brian.
Well, even if he is taking acting classes in the offseason, there was clear contact on that one. The official no choice but to throw the flag. We'll see what the call is officially here, Alex. But at 4th and 12, if it's the roughing a kicker penalty, that should be enough for a first down for the Sentinels. And with 5:07 left here in the first quarter, down 3-0, that's a huge, huge break for Mountain Ridge.
Good punt from Aiden Robinson. The flag comes out. Still conversations to be had as to what the penalty will be. And we'll have a first down. Mountain Ridge will stay on the field. Wyatt Bingham in this offense with another chance after the penalty. And it'll be first down Sentinels.
Big pickup there for Mountain Ridge. And Coach Mayfield used to play for Steve Coburn, coached at Snow College, then coached up until last year at Wasatch, until recently retiring. Coach Coburn used to love to say that you have to get 5 breaks in every game that go your way. That may have been the first one for Mountain Ridge.
Sentinel offense back on the field. Bingham, bunch formation here on the near side. 3 receivers out quickly to Twilly. Twilly will now try to get around this Lone Peak defense, but the defense swarms and he's brought down.
But watching Twilly, if he was one number higher, he might be reminiscent of a certain... Okay, I'm going to look from cameraman here and saying, do we want to go there? Explosiveness. He's got some twitch to him, right? A little bit of a smaller wide receiver, but kind of has that Britton Covey flair to him.
I can see it, yeah.
A little bit. Listen, Britton Covey.
If he was 18, I'd give
legend.
it to you.
That's right. That's why he's 17. He knows. Respect the legacy.
Wyatt Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Beck. Or excuse me, that's Ofisa. And Ofisa is going to be tackled down again. This Lone Peak Night defense just all over the run.
Yeah, and it's a good job by them to close the gap there because it looked like Ofisa was going to get an even bigger gain. Able to pick up 2 yards. So now we're 3rd and 5, 3rd and average. One of my favorites, right? We're still on schedule. Plenty of plays that you can call at this point.
3rd and brown bear coming up. Wyatt Bingham lined up with Ofisa in the backfield. 2 receivers out to the far side for the Sentinels. Takes the snap. He'll drop back over the middle. Caught and brought down. That is Graydon Dumas who brings it in. And a first down for the Sentinels.
I've seen Wyatt Bingham, when he has an open pocket to operate in, he's just phenomenal. You can see he's got so much poise. And he's only 6 feet tall back there, but he's not afraid to take a hit, not afraid to step up and deliver the football.
Prior to this game, Wyatt Bingham, 60% completion rate, 634 passing yards, 8 touchdowns. This one's out on the screen to Cunningham, and Cunningham will be wrestled in the backfield. That's going to be a loss for Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Toa Tanuvasa came in with a full head of steam on that one. He's lucky he didn't find an offensive player from Mountain Ridge to hit, because he was flying through that pitcher.
Sentinels now on 2nd down. Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off. He'll pitch it off. And now it's a good little end around, but he's going to be met. And another big loss as Ty Homestead couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. This Lone Peak defense right now is just all over the run.
Yeah, this is the Lone Peak defense that we saw last week against Corner Canyon. Finally waking up a little bit here, but there's just so much talent out there. We talked about Mulatalo, talked about Junior Tahi. It's just everywhere.
3rd and very long coming up here for the home side. 3rd and 18. Ball on the 38-yard line. 2:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Bingham steps up in the pocket. The pressure's coming. Tries to escape and does. He'll hand it. He'll pitch it off, and now it's Ofisa. Ofisa trying to get to the marker and just misses out. Huge tackle made there by Cade Hansen.
Boy, that looked like it was starting out to be rougher than a pine cone toilet seat, Alex. And somehow Wyatt Bingham manages to escape and turns chicken you-know-what into chicken salad, and that's a positive pickup there for Mountain Ridge. They're going to have to punt, but I think even so, you feel just that much better about your potential to survive, seeing that Lone Peak's starting to come around.
Big play by Wyatt Bingham. Ofisa trying to make it happen. Robinson here will boot this one up and away. Lone Peak calls for the fair catch. It takes a bounce. The ball comes out, and it's Sentinel ball. Mountain Ridge get possession back.
Well, sometimes you just need a few things to go in your favor, and Mountain Ridge capitalizes on the bobble. It was a really high, wobbly punt. And while it wasn't necessarily hard to see in the sun, sometimes with those high kicks can be a little difficult to judge, and Lone Peak just not able to cover the punt. Mountain Ridge is. Now they're in great field position with 1:52 left here in the first quarter to get a score out of this one.
Special teams coming up huge for Mountain Ridge. First, we have the flag earlier in the drive that gives Mountain Ridge another chance on offense. And now with the muffed punt, Mountain Ridge inside night territory. Let's see what they're able to do. Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off. He'll keep. He goes out to the left, and he's brought down quickly at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Bingham kind of nifty as a runner. Not exceptional, but able to at least keep the defense honest there. Could have used a little bit more, help from the blockers on the outside. A former offensive lineman is going to be a little critical of that. I get it. Wide receivers have to split their time trying to catch footballs too. So.
Wyatt Bingham coming into this one with 118 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for this Sentinel side. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, looking to throw. It is incomplete. Huge defensive play there by Wes Valgertson.
Yeah, Valgartson doing a nice job from his corner position. He's a long, lanky guy, able to keep up with that speedy Sentinel wide receiver and get a paw, knock that one away. But the more I watch Wyatt Bingham, Alex, the more I kind of get this Baker Mayfield vibe from him. And I know I'm comparing everybody in the game to legends. Just telling it done about. Like, we're not on All-American level. This is beginner here. Still high school. But he's not afraid to deliver balls into tight windows.
Intended target there was DeYoung. Falls incomplete. Big third down coming up here for Mountain Ridge. Receiver in motion. Bingham takes the snap. He'll drop back, rolls out to his right, escapes one, can't escape the second, and he's going to be wrestled down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he is taking a lot of contact early on, but what a tough runner Wyatt Bingham is, just being fearless out there. And now 4th and 10, you got to tip your hat so far to this Lone Peak defense. They've really stood up to the challenge and made some big plays after the muff punt.
Looks like Mike Mifu and the staff might want to go for it here on 4th and long. Bingham stays out there with the offense. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back. The pressure's coming. Steps up in the pocket. Over the middle. Brought in by Dumas. And he's going to get first down yardage on 4th and long.
Yeah. You love a quarterback that's willing to throw over the middle. And this is a young receiving core over here, but a great job. I believe it was Graydon Dumas there, or Dumas. I apologize to the family out there listening. We don't always get pronunciation guides. But I tell you what, we're going to let the highlight stand on this one because he did a phenomenal job reeling that one in, stretching out for the first down, continuing the drive.
And that's going to do it here for the first quarter. The Lone Peak Knights lead it 3-0 off the field goal. Defenses so far stepping up in this one. We'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter action when we back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSL Sports. Quick pass out from Bingham over to his left. He's going to be wrestled down, caught by Cam Beck. Second quarter action here. It's the Lone Peak Knights who lead it 3-0 off a field goal from Brecken Carr. Lone Peak Football is Skin Science is the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak Football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Beck. Beck barreling through, almost gets the first, and he'll bring up third down.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you hear broadcasters talk about the power run game, it's actually gap scheme that they're talking about. And Mountain Ridge doing a really good job with their gaps. They're able to isolate some of these players. And seeing the pulling guard leading the way, it really allows Beck to hit that hole full speed and get yards.
Third down, again, handoff to Beck, but he's going nowhere. He's going to be wrestled down for a loss, and another big fourth down decision coming up here for Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, and it's about 4th and about 6, 4th and 7 here, under 11 minutes to go in the second. And you're seeing that they're going to go ahead and kick the ball here. At least that's what I'm assuming here is there's a massive change of personnel. Unless they've got some sort of tush-push formation that I don't know about.
Humanick coming out now for the field goal attempt to tie things up. The kick is up, and the kick is good as number 19, Caden Humanick, ties it up. We're all squared here at 3-3, Brian.
Nice job there by the Sentinels to get points on the board. Lost Brody Laga to BYU last year, the phenomenal All-State, I believe 6A All-State kicker. You see that they're able to replace that production fairly effectively here. But more importantly, Alex, I think, as we're talking about the story of this game and how it's unfolding, Mountain Ridge has been answering every single time that Lone Peak has elevated their level of play. And the longer they can stay in this fight, the more their confidence and their belief in themselves is going to grow.
I love that you brought up Brody Laga, because last year I got the chance to call one of Mountain Ridge's games. It was against Harriman, and Brody Laga scored a field goal, Brian, I kid you not, from the H at Harriman. It was insane.
Brody Laga, one of those untold stories that unless you're really in the nitty-gritty of high school football, you never hear about, but an absolute boomer of a leg. It'll be exciting to watch him at the next level.
Humanick now will boot this one away. And Lone Peak here will have a chance to return. Takes a bounce. And now here come the Knights. Out to the right. There's a lane. Humanick there trying to make a tackle. And a good return for Lone Peak.
Yeah, nice job there. Good job set up by Lone Peak, able to get the football on the bounce. You always worry about that a little bit when you're a coach, fielding those ones on the fly. It looked like it was a good job. I believe that was Landon Goff that was back there and fielding the kick, and if so, nice work. Able to advance the ball and give Lone Peak great field position here at the 35-yard line.
Second drive for this Knight offense. Kepa coming back out to lead this side. First down here for the Knights. Ball on the 35. And a receiver goes in motion. Kepa will take the snap. He'll drop back. He'll get it out, and it falls incomplete. Intended there for Owen McNeil.
Yeah, nice job by McNeil. It's almost surprising that he got there on time. Once he got there, able to have the wherewithal to dislodge the ball. And McNeil not able to make the catch. And I tell you what, this Mountain Ridge defense has been really impressive. We talked so much about Lone Peak defensively. They're really productive on offense as well. Austin Pay, Kepanime Tolu, Bear Tenney at tight end.
Kepa line up in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He'll drop back. He'll throws it over the middle, batted down, and it'll fall incomplete for a second there. It looked like Cameron Wood came up with the interception, but it did hit the turf, and it falls incomplete. Third down coming up here for Lone Peak.
Sounded like it was Cole Brandon that may have gotten a hand on that. The junior number 9 from his defensive end position, and that is one of the best ways to get an interception off of deflections. Easy for me to say.
Kepa again on third down. Looking over the sideline now as we get a change on the line. Kepa will take the snap. He'll drop back. Goes out to his right. It is incomplete, and it's just overthrown. Looking in the direction of Mayberry, but it goes out of bounds and out. Fourth down here for the Knights. 10:02 left to go in the second quarter. It has been a defensive battle, 3-3. Field goals for both sides, the only scoring so far. As Lone Peak here will have to punt this one away. Ball booted up. It looks like that's Landon Goff on the punt. A little bit of a shorter punt as it takes a lucky bounce for Mountain Ridge. Comes back near the 50. It'll be spotted at the 49, and now here comes Wyatt Bingham and this offense once again.
Yeah, and one thing to watch out is there's only 9:54 left here in the second quarter, but I believe this is now the fourth drive for this Mountain Ridge offense. That's a lot of snaps to be on the field, and I wish we were sophisticated enough to have a full stat bar in front of us. If you feel like donating or creating a stat company that can do that, I would be very appreciative. So I don't know the exact snap count, but it's a lot of time for this defense to be out on the field.
Bingham will take the snap.
Holding!
And he'll bounce it out to the right. And now that ball, about a 2-yard gain for Mountain Ridge.
So you're seeing there that stringing that play out, and hard part about that is when you get guys going sideways, it's really difficult to generate leverage and push up field. And defense really has to pursue. It wears you down quickly.
Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back out quickly to his receiver. Gott trying to make a move, does, and then he's wrestled down. That's going to be Cohen Cunningham who brings it in. Almost a first down. We'll have a third down here for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels.
Yeah, nice job by Cunningham to avoid the initial tackle. Break inside. Pick up a few extra yards. 3rd and 4 for Mountain Ridge.
Bingham with an empty backfield. 3 receivers lined up to the far side. Bingham on third down will take the snap. He'll drop back, going deep and in the direction of Dumas, but it's overthrown, incomplete, but a flag comes out.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to get a roughing the passer penalty on this one just based on the spot, either that or a hold. Lone Peak with a little confusion there, but they just sent the house after Bingham, and I think this one's going to go in favor of the Sentinels based on the fact that everybody's staying on the field. More importantly, luckily not a bigger play if you're the Lone Peak Knights. So as I mentioned, that confusion allowed Dumas to be open downfield. One of those things that if you're the Lone Peak coaching staff, you really want to watch.
First down for Mountain Ridge after the flag. This part of the game is brought to you by Roofers Supply, your trusted partner with 8 locations throughout Utah. Take it to the top. Wyatt Bingham again lined up to take the snap. He'll have his tight ends go in motion. And a handoff there to Ofisa. Ofisa finds some room in space. He'll take it up. Almost gets the first 8-yard gain there for Ofisa.
Yeah, the gap scheme is working well tonight for Mountain Ridge. You can't run that every single play, but they're doing a good job of mixing it up with some of the outside zone and some of the zone sweep stuff, and doing a good job of finding some balance and some rhythm for this offense.
Second down. Ball on the 21-yard line. 8:12 left to go here in the second quarter. Ofisa again up the middle. Gets the... just barely misses out on the first down. Looks like Ofisa's helmet popped out.
He jogs off the field looking no worse for wear after that one, but based on the spot here, this one's going to be close, Alex. I'm not sure which way they're going to go. But again, a nice job just getting inside there and attacking the teeth of this Lone Peak defense. Mountain Ridge has found something in the run game that's starting to really work for them.
Still trying to have some conversations here about the spot. The far judge, side judge, had it at about 3rd and inches. And they'll give it to them. It'll be a first down Sentinels.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those situations where you're trying to figure out where forward progress was actually stopped, and we're still a little bit in the dark ages in terms of chains and no cameras to spot where the football's at all times. It's a tough judgment call. You like that the officials get together there and at least discuss it, right? Even if you're not getting the call right, it's hard to get some of those right.
I thought the chain crew was going to come out, run out, and measure it. 1 second left on the play clock. Bingham gets it off in time. Bingham will go over the top for Dumas, and it just overthrown again, looking for his big tight end, but it'll fall incomplete.
And you see the couple times that Dumas has been able to get past defenders, and that one Bingham just overthrew him a little bit. And Lone Peak loves to apply pressure. Coach Ryan Denny has built this defense into a sensational program. You know, sometimes we don't give Lone Peak its due. This is a program that's been to 3 state championship games since 2018 with 2 state championship wins.
Bingham again will take the snap. He'll drop back. He gets it out quick, caught and brought down. That's Cam Begg on the big catch. First down, and now they're inside the 10.
Bingham to Beck has been a great connection there, but you see Wyatt Bingham standing in the pocket, delivers the strike, and Cam Beck, when he gets outside the hash marks, he's got that enough juice to make positive things happen. And good news for Mountain Ridge right now is they're in scoring position inside the 10.
First and goal coming up now for the home side. Wyatt Bingham. And a timeout taken here prior to. It'll be a timeout for the Knights. They'll have 1 timeout remaining here for the rest of the first half. This part of the game brought to you by doTERRA. doTERRA is a proud sponsor of Lone Peak football. doTERRA's products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can help your health and wellness at doTERRA.com. First and goal coming up here for Mountain Ridge following the timeout. This part of the game also brought to you by Tech Happily with Tech 9, where Utah goes for custom software development. Lone Peak taking the timeout. They'll have one remaining left here in the in the first half. Now Mountain Ridge lined up following the timeout. Bingham sends his tight ends in motion. Will take the snap. He'll cut inside, looking to take it in, and does! Touchdown, Sentinels!
Well, it's the old student body right, and somewhere Norm Chow is smiling because Wyatt Bingham follows his blockers into the end zone and puts an exclamation point on the first touchdown of the game for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, and a very, very positive drive as Mountain Ridge pulls ahead 9-3 pending the PAT.
Wyatt Bingham rushes in for his fourth rushing touchdown of the season. And here on the PAT, we'll have Caden Humanick on the point after try. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And just like that, the Sentinels take a 10-3 lead. We'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network. Stick with us for the conclusion of this second quarter when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. This part of the game brought to you by G2G, helping busy people eat well when they're on the go, as well as Black Desert, remarkably within reach. After the touchdown run by Wyatt Bingham, the Sentinels lead it 10-3. A little pooch kick here. And it'll fall to Landon Goff. Goff will cut out to his left. Goff still on his feet. And finally wrestled down. Another big return by Landon Goff. And it'll set up the Lone Peak Knights at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, rare that you see a 6'3" kick returner, but you can see why Lone Peak has so much confidence in Goff. He does a great job of continuing the play and fielding the ball.
First down coming up here for Lone Peak. 6:41 left to go in the second quarter. Still plenty of time for Kepa in this offense to try to tie things up. Kepa sends a receiver in motion. Quick pitch. And now it's bounced out to the left. Trying to cut up. It looks like that is number 5, Mayberry, who's going to be wrestled down behind the line. A loss for the Knights here on first down.
Yeah, it looked like it was, I believe, Kendall Wall making the initial stop on that, but a good job as you see the speed from Mayberry to get outside. And both Jaden and Jay Sean Mayberry, two really talented players for this Lone Peak football team. Those are guys that you want to get involved and get going, especially now that you're looking on the opposite end of the scoreboard.
Kepa lined up in the shotgun. Kepa will drop back. He's looking to throw out to his right in the direction of Christensen, and a flag comes out. Lone Peak here. Looks like they might be getting some yards.
Yeah, and I think we're actually going to have to get a play without Kepa Nimatalo as his helmet popped off there. He jogs to the sideline, so even though penalty goes against Mountain Ridge, looks like there could be an opportunity here as Lone Peak's going to have to sub in the quarterback.
Ultimately will be called a pass interference against the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lone Peak Knights. Ike Staley checking in for Kepa. Staley, phenomenal basketball player, and now here he is at quarterback as well for the Lone Peak Knights. Staley will take the snap. He'll hand it off. Wrestled down in the backfield. It's going to be a loss as Cooper Stosic trying to get around his defender, but he's going to be brought down.
We're seeing a lot of fight from this Mountain Ridge defense tonight as they're able to get in the backfield and stop the disruption. In that situation, I almost wonder if you'd want to just go under center, just maybe run a little QB sneak or something like that. A lot of action in the backfield there with Staley especially for a guy who's probably not getting all the reps throughout the week.
Kepa now coming back into the game. Stosic line up in the backfield. Tight end in motion. Hand off to Stosic as he's going to be wrestled down. Gets a good gain, but it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Lone Peak Knights.
And for Lone Peak, they've kind of gone away from the ground game a little bit, and that big physical offensive line has been forced to really protect as opposed to being aggressive, and so you lose a little bit of the rhythm when that happens as an offensive lineman. But equal amount of credit goes to this Mountain Ridge defense tonight. They've really stepped up to the plate. I'm mixing my metaphors on sports here. That's dangerous territory, I know.
Kepa line up in the shotgun. Tight end goes in motion. 3 here on the near side. Kepa drops back. He's looking to go deep, and it is caught by Mayberry. Jashawn Mayberry, and a flag comes out late.
Love and positivity, Alex. It's probably going to be a penalty for the spin after the fact, but I hate that we have to bury what a phenomenal play. That's a great throw by Kepa Nimatalo there. Able to find Mayberry, who reels the ball in under incredible duress. It was very tight coverage from the Mountain Ridge defense there, and it's going to be a first down. But I think the hard part to swallow here is that it's not going to be the huge play that Lone Peak really needed. Huge gain, I should say. It's a huge play.
4:18 left to go here in the second quarter. Mayberry with a huge catch. Lone Peak will have to bring it back just a little bit after the flag, and it'll be first down for the Knights.
And Lone Peak will still have good field position here at the 34-yard line, but I think the bigger thing is that that's so much momentum lost after such a massive play. And it's not me being critical of the officials, it's clarity of the rules. You know, you see it at all levels that guys do that. And kids are always going to mimic the things that they see on TV and TikTok and whatever. So it's a tough situation to put the kids in.
Kepa will drop back. The pressure's coming. Has to just dump it off. That's a catch for Staley. Staley's now taking it in. Staley into the end zone. And Ike Staley with the touchdown. Lone Peak.
What a call from Coach Mark Brockbank as he sucks the defense in. Swings Staley underneath on the screen pass. And he's off to the end zone for a touchdown. And just like that, Lone Peak pulls even, pending the PAT.
What a play. Ike Staley barreling into the end zone. Touchdown for the Knights. Brecken Carr looking to tie things up. The kick is up. The kick is good. And we're all tied up with 3:49 left to go here in the second quarter. Halftime approaching. We'll take a step away here on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. This part of the game is brought to you by National Auto Plaza. National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the best cars, trucks, and SUVs with our legendary $3,500 rebate. Ball goes into the end zone and back for a touchback. The Sentinels and Bingham, with 3:49 left on the clock, will get the ball back, Brian.
Yeah, shout out to Brecken Carr on the touchback with that one. Not a ton of wind tonight, but that's still quite a boot. We'll give the kickers their due every chance we get.
First down coming up here for the Sentinels. Bingham again lined up with an empty backfield. 3 receivers on the near side. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, gets it out quickly, caught up the middle, and now he's going to be wrestled down. That's going to be Cunningham on the catch.
Yeah, nice job by Cunningham as the defender slips down and he's able to take it for a first down. It's just a little sit route where he kind of finds some cushion and to take a 4 or 5 yard route and turning into a first down. That's a great job.
Empty backfield once more for Bingham. He'll take the snap. Out quickly again to his left. The wrestle down this time no gains after the catch, but a catch here for Twilly as second down coming up here for Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, it's rare that you see the size discrepancy in favor of the defense on that one, but Twilly, an undersized wide receiver, but able to secure the football, absorb the catch. See how that progresses is I think that Lone Peak will start to tighten down their corners.
Low snap, Bingham is able to collect. Bingham steps up. Bingham now cutting out to his left. He's at the 50, and he's going to step out of bounds past the 50. Wyatt Bingham again with the run.
It's just the savviness of how he plays for me, Alex. The things he can't teach, that instinct to just know things are collapsing and immediately know that there's open field. On top of that, he is a nifty runner. He's able to make some moves. He's not elite in terms of speed, but he's got enough of it to move the chains. Great play by Wyatt Bingham.
Bingham takes the snap. This time he'll hand it off to Beck. And he's going to be wrestled down. Excuse me, that is not Beck. That was number 27, Sunshine Freeman, who's brought down. Second down here for Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, nice job there by Freeman to fall forward, pick up a few extra yards. A 5'11" junior.
Second down, 2:24 left to go here in the second quarter. Receiver in motion, handoff again to Sunshine Freeman, and he's going to be met. Forward progress might get him 2 yards short, but Sunshine Freeman again trying to barrel through.
I'm not sure, but I don't see Cam Beck down here on the sidelines. Well, someone we'll keep an eye on because he'd been so successful throughout the course of the game.
Third down, a big third down here for the Sentinels. And now here comes the snap. Bingham will drop back over the middle, intercepted, and it's going the other way. Lone Peak with the interception, wrestled down. Toa Tanuvasa with the INT.
It's a great job of being right where you need to be there by Tanuvasa. You see him lower the shoulder, pick up a few additional yards on the return, but the exact kind of play that Lone Peak was looking for there. And for this program and that defense, that's the energy that they've been looking for all game long. Now, a great opportunity to put some points on the board with 1:24 left in the quarter.
Fortunate there for the Sentinels, just through the hands, takes a deflection up, and Toa Tanuvasa does a fantastic job to bring that one in. Turnover for the Sentinels, Lone Peak ball. Kepa, empty backfield, will take the snap, but a flag comes out, Brian.
Yeah, before the snap, dead ball penalty, so it's either going to be offsides or a false start here. We'll see. Looks like it's false start or in the direction of a false start against Lone Peak, and not the kind of response you want to see in terms of immediately starting off on a good foot, but maybe understandable. Excitement after the interception. You want to get after it a little bit.
It's been a fun, entertaining defensive battle, all tied up at 10-10 here at Mountain Ridge High School. 1:21 left to go in the second quarter. And while it's been fun with the defensive battle, a lot of flags here in the first half for both sides.
Not sure why time went off the clock there, but this may be why the officials are conferencing at the field. Yep, there they go. See what happens with love and positivity? Bonding with the officials. We're on the same page.
.125, correction. 1:25 left on the clock. It'll be first and long coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights. Kepa with the empty backfield. Three receiver is lined up over on the far side. Receiver in motion. Kepa takes the snap, to Christensen. Christensen brings it in. Christensen with a whole bunch of time, room, and space. And Luke Christensen will take it all the way. Touchdown, Knights.
Well, I don't know if his mama calls him Cool Hand, but I'm going to call him Cool Hand as Luke Christensen buries one into the end zone for the Lone Peak Knights on the big play. Puts them ahead with seconds left here in the second half. What a great job by this Lone Peak offense to respond after the interception.
Brecken Carr once more out for the PAT. The kick is up. The kick is good. The Lone Peak Knights lead it 17-10. Capitalize off the turnover. And they lead here at Mountain Ridge High School 17-10. This part of the game brought to you by Taco Bell. Taco Bell, where fans and flavors come together. Live Mas and enjoy the game. This part of the game also brought to you by Rovin Capital. Partnering in your peace of mind through planning and investment management. 17-10. Lone Peak leads it. Brecken Carr here will boot this one away.
Let's see if he can boot another one in the back of the end zone here. And really for Lone Peak, that's the kind of play that you want because it doesn't allow Mountain Ridge any kind of opportunity to capture some momentum.
1:13 left. That ball will go straight into the end zone and back for a touchback. Wyatt Bingham in this offense. They have time to operate, Brian. What do they have to do here on this quick 1:13 drive to try to get it into the end zone and tie things up before the break?
Well, really, you're going to want to work the sidelines as much as possible and hope for some kind of breakdown in that secondary. We've seen Wyatt Bingham stand tall in the pocket, even though he's only 6 feet tall. And so maybe you look to roll him out a little bit here, try and find some routes open a little deeper to maybe get some early momentum. With only 1:13 left, that's still time to move the ball. I do believe that Mountain Ridge has all their timeouts still as well.
First down coming up here for the Sentinels. 1st and 10, ball on the 20. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, gets it out quickly, caught and wrestled down. That's going to be number 4, Cunningham again with the catch, but brought down quickly.
And you see what they're trying to do, working those outside routes, go the width of the field. But if you're going to do that, you've got to get up on the ball quickly and snap it.
Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, steps up in the pocket, goes out to his left. Bingham now trying to get for the marker, and he's pushed out of bounds.
And that one's going to be close. Looks like it was right at the marker where he went out of bounds. We'll see what they spotted. The good news for Mountain Ridge, even if it is close to a first down, whoa, interesting.
It'll be short.
Yeah. So regardless, clock stops. You have an opportunity to kind of catch your breath here. Make sure you get your plays organized.
3rd and Brown Bear as Bingham steps back. Caught over the middle. Dumas brings it in. Dumas wrestled down at the end. And it's a first down, Sentinels.
There's a great job finding Dumas there in the middle of the field. And they've done a great job of finding that. You see 2 sideline routes and then go over the top. Under 40 seconds to go here.
Clock running down and running down quickly. Bingham drops back, gets it out to his right as it hits the turf. Cam Beck trying to bring that in with the catch, but the flag is out, Brian.
Yeah, and this one's in the backfield, and it didn't look like Bingham got roughed at all. So I think this one may be a little too much love and positivity on the offensive line. It hurts me to say that every single time.
I'm sure the viewers at home appreciate it.
He's a former offensive lineman, and I was never a great offensive lineman, but I understand how hard it is. Those guys across from you are fast and angry, and who knows if they've had anything to eat. They just might need a snack. Sometimes you just want to give them a little hug and let them know that you got some apple slices.
And Taco Bell.
Yeah, and
Taco Bell.
Boy, who didn't need some Taco Bell?
1st and long coming up here for the Sentinels. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, Pressure's coming, escapes out to his right, still on his feet, out quickly to Cunningham, and Cunningham gets out of bounds, almost back to the original marker. Huge gain for Cunningham.
Yeah, it is a huge gain, but really it's an impressive play because you see how much on the same page they are. Cunningham coming back to the quarterback. You see Wyatt Bingham knows right where to throw it. It's just one of those plays that you're just, you love it because it shows the work. Maybe it's not a huge gain, not a touchdown. You just love to see young kids putting in the work.
Bingham again dropping back. Out to Cunningham again. He'll cut out to his left. The tackle coming in, brought down, and they got to call the timeout quickly. Still have 11 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I love the effort there by Cunningham, but it's know the situation, right? So you don't need to break every tackle in that moment. And it looks like, unfortunately, we do have a Mountain Ridge player down, and I fear that might be number 4.
While the medical and training staff head onto the field, we'll take a quick step aside here on the Rewind Sports Network. Good to see number 4, Cohen Cunningham, back on his feet, walking back to the sideline. Good sights here at Mountain Ridge High School. The Sentinels with a 3rd down and about 5 as a receiver goes in motion. Wyatt Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, and the pressure is going to get to him. He gets it out, intercepted. Going the other way, the Knights with their 2nd INT of the night. And flag comes out late.
Boy, what a turn of events there. It looked like Wyatt Bingham was buried in the backfield, able to get the ball out. Throws an accurate pass, just bounces off the receiver's hands, and we talked about it in the early broadcast. Deflections are a secondary's dream situation.
Secondary's best friend.
That's right. And you see that Lone Peak secondary capitalize on it again, and we'll let the officials sort out the love and positivity on that part. But I think the big thing here is that's a great job and a great stop by this Lone Peak Knights defense. And for people watching at home or don't really follow high school football that closely, I was talking to one of the coaches here on staff with Lone Peak. Ryan Denny is just incredible. He's done this year after year after year and just produced these defenses at Lone Peak. 3 to 4 D1 guys. They all go on. You see Nate Ritchie up at Utah. And there's a bunch of guys at BYU. This is a man that really deserves deserves some praise and some credit and some due. And right now, it looks like Lone Peak's just going to kneel on this one.
Kepa will take the knee, drown out the clock, and we've reached halftime here at Mountain Ridge High School. The Lone Peak Knights lead it 17-10. Huge interception there at the end for this defense. 17-10, Lone Peak lead it. We'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Stick with us for second half action when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Lone Peak football brought to you by Skin Science. Skin Science is the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. This part of the game also brought to you by Burt Brothers. Burt Brothers, where auto care is done better. Getting ready to start the second half here at Mountain Ridge High School. The sun is gone, the lights are on, and out into the valley you can just see the beautiful southern part of the Salt Lake Valley.
We'll just let it marinate there a little bit for the folks at home, but also, despite the surroundings being beautiful, we've got a beautiful defensive battle going on in this game as well, as we've seen Mountain Ridge be stymied twice by the secondary of Lone Peak in an attempt to try and upset the visiting Knights.
17-10, Lone Peak leads it as we get ready to start the third quarter here at Mountain Ridge High School. We talk a lot about this Lone Peak defense. They have been phenomenal all game long. Offensively, 17 points, not too bad. They obviously hold the lead, Brian, but what do they got to do here in the second half to put this one away?
Well, really, it's about sustaining drives. I think that's where they found the most success early on. especially in the run game. We saw Cameron Beck early on, and he was averaging well over 5 yards a carry. And so I think if Mountain Ridge can get a quick stop here from a Lone Peak offense that's kind of struggled, but also had some really big plays. And we saw the big screen pass to Staley, where he took that one for a touchdown. And then it's really been two big screen passes that's gotten Lone Peak back into this one. But for the most part, really, Mountain Ridge has kind of got every opportunity on the table still. And for a game that really, I think if you were to analyze it or if there was a spread, wouldn't have been that close. This one has been highly competitive.
And I expect the second half to continue to be highly competitive here as we are seconds away from getting things rolling again at Mountain Ridge High School. It is the Sentinels in the gray with the gray helmets and the Lone Peak Knights in the white and the white caps. Little pooch kick that goes out in the direction of Cameron Ray. Nice little return, and Lone Peak will set up shop here.
And Mountain Ridge is learning not to kick to Landon Goff because he's had a couple really good returns early on in this one. Even though they haven't kicked the ball deeply to him, he's been able to field some of those bouncers and some of those pooch kicks and put Lone Peak in good field position. And now this Mountain Ridge defense needs to pin their ears back a little bit and be aggressive.
Had some good stops in the first half. A couple of flags late there in the second quarter gave Lone Peak some good field position. Kepa now will take the snap. He'll get it out to his right, bobbled and incomplete as Bertini just could not bring that one in.
Yeah, the big tight end from Texas not able to reel that one in. You see what Lone Peak wants to do. They want to establish the throw game here early on, and hard to find a better target than Bertini, as he's three-star prospect, 24/7 Sports, will offer multiple schools. You can see they want to do anything they can to develop a rhythm here early on.
Second down coming up for the Lone Peak Knights. Kepa line up in the shotgun. Two receivers out to the right. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it off. Run up the middle, but nicely defended by Mountain Ridge as they were all over the run.
Talk about a wall of the Wasatch. Kendall Wall has been absolutely stellar tonight from his defensive end position. Mentioned that he is committed to BYU, and for those Cougar fans celebrating the victory tonight, you got another one in the pipe that looks like he's going to be a real player. This Mountain Ridge defense has done a great job of limiting gains on the ground, and I think it's really stymied this Lone Peak offense.
Sam Wright on the carry gets stuffed at the line. It'll be third down here for Lone Peak. Kepa, tight end in motion, will take the snap. He'll drop back, looking in the direction of Tenney. This time going deep to his left. It is incomplete through the hands of Owen McNeil, and it hits the turf.
Just great coverage there, and you can see the arm ability from Kepa Niamatalo. He just has a live arm, and I mean, that was an absolute rope. Almost a 50 yard throw, but again, phenomenal job by the Mountain Ridge defender there to deflect the football, and a quick 3 and out is exactly what the doctor ordered for Coach Mike Mayfu and his staff.
Landon Goff, returner for Lone Peak, punter for Lone Peak. He's back there to punt it away. Fourth down. Goff takes the snap. He'll boot this one up and away. Fair catch, signaled by the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, and we'll have our chance to see Wyatt Bingham in this offense heading out for the first time this second half.
Yeah, in second quarter, a little up and down there for Bingham in the offense, as he did throw 2 interceptions. Now, there is a caveat to that. Deflections. Problematic situation. Don't put those all on Bingham, but he really has played well tonight in facing a very, very tenacious and talented Lone Peak defense.
See what kind of adjustments this Mountain Ridge offense made to this defense here as they come out for their first drive of the second half. Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off. It's Beck. Beck quickly brought down after 2 yards on the gain. Second down for Mountain Ridge.
And good job by the interior of that Lone Peak defense to stop for minimal gain there, but that's really where Mountain Ridge has found their bread and butter, those inside runs. And between the tackles, they've been able to get good movement.
It's part of the game brought to you by Popular Commercial Loans. For commercial loans, call Popular Commercial Lending Group at 801-694-6281. Second down coming up here from Mountain Ridge.
Oh, no, it's not red. It's back to trips.
Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, looking out to his right. Caught over the middle. It's going to be DeYoung who brings it in. Almost a first down. He'll be stopped a yard short.
It just trips out there to the boundary side. It's almost a clear out route by the two outside receivers. Slip the underneath guy on an inside slant. A nice little pickup, and it really opens the playbook now here on 3rd and short.
Receiver in motion. Bingham will hand it off to Ofasi, and he'll be brought down. Can't get to the marker. We'll see where the spot is.
Yeah, based on that far judge, it looks like this is going to be enough for a first down. I thought he was tackled short of the marker as well, but we'll see. They're calling it a first down. We'll roll with it.
Ofisa doing good to, I guess, extend it just over the line, gets the first, and now we'll have a first down here for the home side as Bingham again line up in the shotgun. Two receivers out to the far side. He'll roll out to his left. The pressure's coming. Steps up. Still Bingham on his feet. And he'll slide down at the R. And he'll get 4 on the gain.
And you can see that when Lone Peak gets past that initial surge, they just create so much chaos in the backfield. And I think any other quarterback, that's likely a sack and a pretty decent loss. But Wyatt Bingham able to recognize the pressure, able to get outside, cut back to the middle, get positive yards, and just keep the offense on schedule.
8:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Nice pickup from Wyatt Bingham. And got some issues going on with the chain gain, Brian.
Looks like there's some work happening there at the end. The original line of scrimmage marker is down. Looks like a non-contact injury. Hope it didn't lose a link.
We'll see we'll see maybe a knot or something over there on the far side. I don't know, but the chain itself is down.
And the good news is that we've got multiple people over there trying to fix the solution. So if anybody has a joke with how many members does it take to fix a chain on a chain gang, here's your opportunity.
Tweet at us.
Yeah, at KSL Sports Rewind.
Look, Brian, in all seriousness, it seems like anytime this game is about to take off, whether it's a big play, whether it's a big attack from either one of the sides, something like that just kind of slows this game down. It's been a slow game here in this Mountain Ridge Lone Peak match.
Yeah, it has, and I think that's really favored Mountain Ridge because you got Wyatt Bingham back there, and he's so unflappable.
Bingham will drop back. The pressure's coming. Escapes out to his left, still on his feet. Takes it up, gets 3 yards on the gain, but the flag is out.
Finally.
I tell you what, man, I am so impressed with Wyatt Bingham. And I'm not going to say more about that, but just simply because you don't escape Bob Mulatalo. For people who are tuning in for the first time, we used to call him a Ninja Turtle on the broadcast because you never get away from him. And for him to recognize that pressure, get outside, and I know this is going to be a holding penalty, but it's just a really impressive play. I think part of why you talked about him so highly on the early part of the broadcast, Alex.
He's no longer the Ninja Turtle. He graduated last week. He's the Juggernaut now.
Whatever nickname you want to give to Bot Mulatalo, it's fitting because he's an absolute monster out there. And you always have to be aware of where number 0 is at all times.
Per Moose Bingham, he is now the Juggernaut. Holding call against the home side. It'll be second and long coming up now for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Still trying to get the exact spot here. Now ball's down. We'll have second down coming up. Second and 21, ball on the 49-yard line. Bingham will take the snap. He'll hand it off. It'll be bounced out by Beck. Beck trying to find the corner. Or excuse me, that's Ofisa. But Ofisa brings it back to the original line of scrimmage and is brought down.
Yeah, just a nice job again by this Lone Peak defense. Find ball, get ball, tackle ball. And sometimes it really is just that easy. And for Mountain Ridge, you can see that this margin that they had to start the game is closing every single snap. You're going to have to start producing some plays because there's just so much talent on that Lone Peak side of the ball.
Bingham on 3rd down and long. Will drop back, rolls out to his left, and he's going to be sacked. Brought down by number 9, Junior Tahi, and the Lone Peak Knights force a 4th down.
It's just a great job by Tahi, beating his man right off the line of scrimmage, just power into the backfield, and Bingham not able to escape this time. If he's a cat, he may have exhausted his 9th life on that one.
4th sack of the season there for Junior Tahi. Brings up 4th down as Aiden Robinson will boot this one up and away. Nice punt. A fair catch called. A little bit of contact, but I don't think we'll see anything there, Brian.
Yeah, it looked like the defender was blocked into the play on that one, so a good no call by the officials. Some boo birds out here in the stands, but you know, that could just be some overstimulated student base, student body.
Love and positivity.
Yeah. So
1st down coming up here for the Lone Peak Knights as Kepa brings this offense back out for the 2nd time this 2nd half. Kepa with Sam Wright lined up next to him. Kepa will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Sam Wright. Wright bounces it out to his right. Sam Wright still on his feet. And it looks like he got the first. Huge run there by Sam Wright.
Yeah, that's a play that Lone Peak really needed. They needed to start to move the ball a little bit on the ground there. And you see Sam Wright, just speedy, explosive back, able to get outside. Nice gain. And notice also, they ran away from Kendall Wall. That seems to also help a lot, too.
1st and 10 coming up now for the Lone Peak Knights. Ball on the 45-yard line. Kepa will take the snap again. Handoff to Sam Wright. Up the middle. Gets 2 on the gain. It'll bring up 2nd down for the Knights.
And for Lone Peak, you're very content to just run the ball, milk the clock, really generate a long drive on this one. It's a young Mountain Ridge defense. Fatigue starts to set in a little bit, mistakes are made, and that's when you're going to start to break this game open a little bit.
Kepa with Wright in the backfield. 2 receivers lined up here to the near side on 2nd down. Kepa will take the snap. He'll drop back. Over the middle. Incomplete. Big defensive play for the Sentinels. Looking for Luke Christensen, but it falls to the turf.
Yeah, Luke Christensen, a great target there for the Lone Peak offense, but we've seen this a few times from that Sentinel secondary, easy for me to say again, where they've gotten their hands on the ball and dislodged it at the last moment. And what you love about that, Alex, is it's that extra effort to keep fighting. Great job and well-coached secondary here for Mountain Ridge.
3rd and long coming up now for Lone Peak. 5:42 left to go in the 3rd. Ball on the 47. Kepa will drop back. Looking to throw. Caught over the middle. And still on his feet. It's Owen McNeil who brings it in and is brought down inside Sentinel territory.
Well, a great job by McNeil to get open and then to break the tackle and get additional yards. That's how you sustain drives. You have to get an explosive play of some sort. Anything over 15 yards, consider it an explosive play. You see right there, McNeil able to drive the feet, get the extra gain, and keep Lone Peak on schedule.
This part of the game brought to you by Roofers Supply, your trusted partner with 8 locations throughout Utah. Take it to the top, Roofers Supply. Kepa on 1st down will take the snap. He'll hand it off to, he'll keep up the middle. Gets a nice little gain there for Lone Peak as Kepa with the keeper.
And you don't see him run a ton, but he is a nifty little runner, especially when he can get inside that, behind that big offensive line for Lone Peak there. And I like the action where you're faking the run to the outside, and he can just kind of sneak in there, get some extra yards, keep the defense honest.
Second down coming up now for Lone Peak. 6 yards for the first down. Ball on the 27-yard line. Kepa with 3 receivers lined up on the far side. And he's looking that way. And it's caught near the 10. Lone Peak with the first down.
Except for it looks like the official said he was out of bounds. Hard for us to see that far away, but man, that was a great throw and catch.
Believe that was Luke Christensen on the catch, incomplete, and it'll bring up third down. Again, 3 receivers lined up to the far side for Kepa. It'll be number 23, Cooper Stosic now, who motions out to the left side. And now going deep towards the end zone. Incomplete again into the hands, looking for Luke Christensen, but it falls to the turf.
Just a fantastic throw by Kepa Nimetolu. Christensen able to get hands on it, but just not reel it in as the Mountain Ridge defender falls down on that one. And boy, you talk about ones that you're going to watch tomorrow or Monday in film session, and I always wish you could have that one back, but Lone Peak's going to go for it here, Alex.
Great opportunity there to get the touchdown. Falls incomplete, looking for Christensen. 4th and 6th coming up here for Lone Peak. Kepa takes the snap, the pitch, another pitch, the reverse. Staley to Kepa. Kepa with the first. Kepa taking it in. Kepa with the touchdown. Knights.
What just happened? A razzle-dazzle mixed with some Philly special, and it ends in pay dirt for the Lone Peak Knights as Kepa is king of the gridiron.
Incredible play from Lone Peak. A couple reverses, a couple of pitches here and there. I don't know how many they ended up doing in the end, but Kepa ends up with it. Touchdown Knights. Brecken Carr puts it up. It's good. It's a 24-10 Lone Peak lead. And we'll take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. This part of the game brought to you by doTERRA. doTERRA is a proud sponsor of Lone Peak football. doTERRA's products help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health and wellness. Learn more about how you can up your health and wellness with doTERRA.
Yeah, I'm still trying to catch my breath after that one. What an incredible play. A great play call, and I don't know how many reverses Coach Brockbank had on his spreadsheet for that one, but ended up with a touchdown. And with 4:05 left here in the third quarter, Alex, the Sentinels are going to have to answer a call and try and make something happen. And Lone Peak kicks the ball out of bounds, and this offense will take over at the 35-yard line.
Huge drive coming up here for the home side. They trail 24-10. Need a touchdown, and they need one in a big way. Receiver in motion. He'll hand it off to Beck. Beck barrels up the middle and met by the Lone Peak defense, but not before he gets a solid gain of 4.
Yeah, and you've seen this Lone Peak defense is closing those gaps a little bit more, able to limit the gains by Beck, and just a little tentative as he hit the hole that time. Still getting positive yards, but what was an 8-yard gain is now down to 4.
Second down coming up here for the Sentinels as Bingham rolls out to his right. He's able to advance, almost gets the first, but he's forced out of bounds prior to the line again. 3rd and 1 coming up here or 3rd and 2 coming up for Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, and just a good job by Bingham to avoid the sack there as he felt the pressure early from the interior there. Number 86, Max Hamlin, doing a great job of shaking loose of the offensive player and applying that pressure.
3rd down, a big 3rd down coming up for the home side. Hand off to Beck. Beck finds a hole, barrels through, is able to get the first and into Knight's territory. 1st down coming up for Mountain Ridge.
And that's a Cameron Beck that we saw in the first half, just running hard and dragging defenders and picking up 1st downs. That's a much, much needed pickup there for this Sentinel offense. And they're up quick, ready to go.
1st down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Inside Knight territory. Bingham will take the snap. Hand off again to Beck. This time Beck is met at the line of scrimmage. Flags come out. Has Beck maybe got a yard there on the gain?
I'm not exactly sure what the call is going to be on that one. He came from the backside of the play. Maybe a hold, but it did look like there was a lot of contact there. You're seeing one of the Sentinel offensive linemen signaling it's going to go against Lone Peak, and I thought maybe it was a face mask. There you go. Every now and then, the blind mouse finds some cheese.
Face mask, and now we'll have a 1st down coming up for the home side. Again, they need a touchdown, Brian, on this drive to keep it within 1 possession. Down 2 at the moment.
Yeah, 2:50 left to play here.
Takes the snap. Bingham will drop back. Going out to his right. Caught and pushed out of bounds. Graydon Dumas, the tight end, with the catch.
And that's really been the bread and butter for Mountain Ridge when they've had solid drives and solid completions. It's those clear routes and bringing underneath players, and Dumas has been everywhere tonight. He's run deep routes, shallow, crosses, everything. He has been very impressive.
2nd down coming up now for the home side. Bingham out to his right. The pressure's coming. Able to make a good gain. Almost gets the first again. He's going to be stopped short.
Yeah, just the old QB sweep. We saw him score a touchdown on that earlier, and just an easy play to pick up some yards there. Again, just gives you plenty of options in terms of what you're going to run on 3rd and 4th down here. Because I think at this point in the game, with 2:19 left, the clock ticks down here in the 3rd quarter, you have to be thinking about going for it if you don't pick it up here.
3rd and 2nd coming up. Ball on the 24-yard line. Bingham sends receivers in motion. Handoff to Beck, who's just going to barrel through, and that's enough for the 1st down. A big 1st down for the home side.
Really like the design of that play. There's a lot of action, a lot of motion, trying to draw eyes of the defense elsewhere, and then just end up motioning that H-back into like perfect fullback position, and it's just essentially a duo allowing Beck to pick up the 1st down.
Empty backfield coming up here for Bingham. Cam Beck lined up over on the far side. 3 receivers out to his left. He'll take the snap. He'll drop back. Bingham steps up in the pocket. Escapes 1, escapes 2, and is able to make a good gain here on 1st down.
I didn't know that Wyatt Bingham had that in him. Makes a defender miss, and somebody might need to go get their ankles taped up there. Just a great job. Again, talk about this Lone Peak defense. It seems so many times tonight we've talked about Bingham being under duress and making something happen. Getting a little bit of a hangover, I'm sure, but they're still really bringing the heat for Lone Peak.
Wyatt Bingham with a nice 6-yard gain sets them up for a 2nd and 4. Ball on the 15 with 1:10 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Bingham out quickly to Dumas. Dumas is just going to barrel through. About 2 on the gain there from Dumas.
And try to set up a little slip screen action out there, and wide receiver not dragging enough of the defense with him to really break that one open, but still able to get positive yards. And you can feel the rhythm of this game kind of getting a little muddy, where it's slow, it's laborious, and I think if you're Mountain Ridge, that's really what you want, right? want to slow things down because that Lone Peak offense has just been so explosive all game long.
Credit to Mountain Ridge, the home side here. They have been marching down the field and are inside the red zone looking to make this a one-possession game. Bingham breaks out to his left. He's going to be brought down, but enough for the first down. Wyatt Bingham again puts the offense on his back, gets the first.
And you see him get up a little gimpy, but I tell you what, he is one tough son of a gun. He has done a great job of feeling the pressure and escaping the pocket. And talk about it, this Lone Peak defensive front, this defensive line, they're bearing down on every play. They're getting good penetration. It's just Wyatt Bingham is willing his team into this game.
Ball set up inside the 10. It'll be first and goal from the 9-yard line, but first, that is the end of the third quarter. Still a close one, two-possession game, 24-10. The Lone Peak Knights lead. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, fourth quarter action here from Mountain Ridge High School on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, presented by Skin Science. Skin Science is the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak Football. Start your journey as an esthetician today. Visit www.skinscienceinstitute.com to schedule a tour and enroll now. Fourth quarter action underway as the Lone Peak Knights lead it 24-10. The home side, though, marching down the field. They're knocking. They're inside the 10. Ball on the 9. First and goal coming up here from Mountain Ridge.
And sitting just inside the red zone at the 10-yard line here. A lot of opportunity in terms of play calls.
Bingham will now go to the empty backfield as Beck goes out. Beck trying to block, the pressure coming. Bingham escapes, trying to get it into the hands of Ty Homestead, but it goes incomplete.
Little miscommunication off the shift there. And Wyatt Bingham, again, being so savvy, recognizes it, rolls out, evades the pressure, tries to find his receiver, but just not enough space for them to connect.
Now it's going to be second and goal from the 9-yard line. Bingham will take the snap. This time handoff to Cam Beck, but he's going nowhere. He's going to be dropped for a loss.
Something disrupted with the timing. I'm not sure if the snap was late or what, but that play was not hitting nearly as quickly as it needed to. And you saw the edges collapsing there for Lone Peak. Able to tackle Beck before you can get in the end zone. Able to tackle him before you can even get past the line of scrimmage.
It'll bring up a third and goal from the 12-yard line. See if Bingham and this offense decides to take a shot at the end zone here. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, going into Dumas, but it goes over and incomplete, almost intercepted.
And now you start to think, is this 4-down territories or not? And it looks like Mountain Ridge is going to kick the field goal here. It's in essence, a two-score game, 24-10, 11 minutes left. You likely will get one or two more possessions offensively. And so you see the thought process going through for Coach Mayfield there. Decides to kick the field goal.
Caden Humanick coming out for the field goal. The kick is up, and the kick is plenty good as Caden Humanick adds 3 to the board. Maybe not the end that Mountain Ridge wanted on that possession after driving it down the field, but you'll take the 3.
Yeah, you take the points however you can get them at this point in time. But really, I think the story on that one was so much momentum for Mountain Ridge as they were driving down the field. Quarter hits. Suddenly, Lone Peak able to catch their breath a little bit and make a big stop there. And now, 11 minutes and 3 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter, Alex. It is crunch time for this Mountain Ridge defense. You have to get another stop here. You really cannot allow more points to go on the board.
The call now is for this Mountain Ridge defense to step up. Lone Peak drawn out now for the kickoff. This part of the game brought to you by Tech 9. Tech happily with Tech 9, where Utah goes for custom software development. Part of the game also brought to you by G2G. Fresh, healthy, and delicious. When you eat one, you'll know. G2G. 24-13, 11:03 left to go in the fourth quarter. Humanick will boot this one up and away. And he'll squib it. He'll squib it. He'll try to recover it. Lone Peak on top. The onside kick. And it's recovered. Held on by the Lone Peak Knights.
You can kind of see something happening up front there with the Lone Peak receiving team. They'd seen something or heard something because they were kind of pointing and talking back and forth. And if you're Mountain Ridge, it's almost one of those good opportunities to try and take a shot. But now you've really put your defense into a perilous situation.
First down from the 47-yard line. Kepa will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Wright. Wright breaks through the line, and he'll get a nice gain now into Sentinel territory. And just like that, they've already crossed the 50.
And that's the problem with a play like that, is it is very high risk, high reward. And at this point in the game, I just don't know. It's one of those things that you kind of have to have some feel for it. And really what your hope is now is that your defense can pull it together enough to really get a stop here.
Second down coming up for Lone Peak. Kepa takes the snap. Again, handed off to Wright. Wright bouncing it out to his left, and he'll be brought down for the loss. Huge play there by the Sentinel defense. Looked like that was number 35, Blake Benson. 41, excuse me.
That was Kendall Wall. He did a great job of chasing down the back from the outside, and a really difficult thing for a defensive end to do, but you can see that long, tall frame that he has. He's able to move enough and tackle the back and put Lone Peak into a third and long situation here.
Third and long, Kepa, empty backfield, will take the snap. He'll drop back. The pressure's coming, and he's going to be sacked. Sacked by the Sentinels. Fourth down.
I didn't want to talk it up too much on the broadcast, but Kendall Wall is one of those prospects that I feel like teams are going to be absolutely devastated that they missed out on him. He is so good. He's just so raw. You see the physical ability on that one as he collapses the pocket, able to get his hands on Kepa, bring him down, and what a huge, huge stop for that Mountain Ridge defense.
Ball punted away here by Goff, and that will go out of bounds around the 19-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. No, just right at the 20. But either way, Mountain Ridge offense heading back out. This is the opportunity they wanted. Now they get it.
And no better person to have at the helm than Wyatt Bingham, as he's going to lead this offense out. And for Lone Peak, it's just a lapse of concentration there. Again, this is a team that had a massive win, but this is also a program that's used to those kinds of wins. Had a huge victory last year, upset American Fork, and in one of the most competitive regions in the state. So right now, they're being tested by a plucky upstart Mountain Ridge team.
Empty backfield for Bingham. He'll go out to his right. Caught by Homestead and wrestled down as Ty Homestead brings it in for the catch.
And you love seeing that fight still from these Harriman wide receivers. And for the most part, they are smaller in each of these, in the battles that they're going up against in terms of the defensive players across from them. No fear. Always fighting forward. Love to see it.
This part of the game brought to you by Black Desert. Remarkably within reach. Out quickly now to his right again. That's Wyatt Bingham with the throw. Wrestled down quickly, maybe a yard on the gain, but not much going there for the Sentinels.
And it does look like we've got a player down on that one, Alex, and we'll let the medical team take care of this one. But again, you talk about being remarkably within reach. It seems like every time Wyatt Bingham steps back there to throw, there's a defender within arm's reach of him. Yet he's still able to find his receivers out there and make these plays. Now, small chunk yards. I think sometimes when you're sitting at home watching this game and there's 8 minutes, 18 seconds left, it gets anxious and you think, you got to score, you got to score. 11-point game, still plenty of time. And really what you want to do is you want to try and manage the clock as much as possible so that you only give Lone Peak one more offensive possession. And so those short passes make sense in terms of trying to keep the clock managed. But at some point in time, as we've seen previous drives, Mountain Ridge is going to have to get a big play. On the flip side of that, Lone Peak wants to limit that.
Good to see the Sentinel player back on his feet. Still can't get a number on that with the distance. It might be Cam Beck, but or it's going to be Ofisa. Ofisa now walking back over here to the sideline. Good to see him back on his feet, Brian.
Yeah, and Ofisa has been a great change of pace back, doing a lot of the dirty work, and you can see him just real slow to get off that field. And it looks like it's probably something with the lower leg, and you hope that he can make a return, or if not, heal quickly.
3rd and 6. Bingham takes the snap, drops back, the pressure coming over the middle, caught and brought down. Huge gain there by DeYoung.
Just an incredible pitch and catch, and you can barely see Wyatt Bingham back there, and the ball comes out, and if you're a Mountain Ridge fan at home, you're clutching, hoping it finds a completion, and it does.
The pressure's coming, and he's going to be sacked, brought down for a loss this time as Bingham goes down in the backfield.
I tell you what, if you're Lone Peak, finally able to get to him, but not a huge loss. Still plenty of time, 7:40 left on the clock right now. Let's see Wyatt Bingham going into a little bit of a hurry-up action here.
2nd and 13, 7:35 left to go here in the 4th. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back, gets it out to number 8, Dumas. Dumas now trying to bury through, and he's going to be wrestled down, still on his feet. Now he's brought down. Excuse me, that's Beck, and a flag, a huge flag comes out late.
Yeah, this is going to be a costly penalty, and we're going to let the officials do their job. They've got to manage that part of the game, but I think this is an impactful play for sure. On both sides of the ball. This is going to get Mountain Ridge a first down, and you saw on that play Dumas out in the open field trying to get a blocker in position so he can make a cut off of it. And that Lone Peak defense just doing a really good job of getting to the ball and limiting it from becoming an explosive play. Unfortunately, just too much aggression in the eyes of the official, and that's going to be a first down.
Big call. Huge call here for the officials as they give the 1st and more to the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Now inside night territory, still trailing 24-13 with 7:15 left on the clock. Bingham drops back, it's caught, and he's pushed out of bounds. DeYoung again with another catch.
And you're seeing that rhythm that Wyatt Bingham's found, and I'm not sure what we got going on, if there's a timeout here by Coach Brockbank or what. Trying to get his squad settled down a little bit, because it is getting to that point now, Alex, where they've crossed the 50-yard line down to the 36 with 7 minutes left, and this Mountain Ridge team threatening again. And that's really what they've done all night long, is just brought the fight to the feet of the Lone Peak Knights. They haven't showed any fear. They've been aggressive, and even in the face of mistakes, adversity, everything else, they continue to stand tall. If you're Coach Mayfu right now, you've got to be really, really proud of your squad and the effort that they put forth tonight.
I already knew Wyatt Bingham was going to be a player to keep an eye on, but him and this offense have really impressed me tonight, Brian.
Yeah, he really has been impressive. He's been almost the entirety of the offense. Now he's had some great help. We mentioned Cameron Beck, Dumas. There have been a lot of contributors, but it's been his play that's been so steady, consistent, and savvy. want to see what he does right here coming out of the timeout. Almost wonder if they'll try and take a shot here.
2nd and 1, ball on the 36 for the home side. Bingham will take the snap. He'll drop back. Pressure's coming, escapes out to his right, throws it out. Twilly with the catch. First down, Mountain Ridge.
Well, I tell you what, Twilly catches everything that gets thrown his way. And he's only about 5'7", 5'8", but man, that kid is tough as nails. Just keeps going. I love watching him play. And the connection that he and Wyatt Bingham has with all his receivers right now is just chef's kiss.
Still going. The flags come out. The pressure's coming. Bingham now will be wrestled down in the backfields. The home side not happy with that late push, but the flag came out and the play was called dead prior to. We'll see what the call is here, Brian.
Yeah, his momentum was stopped, and there's a holding penalty that's going to come in there as well, I believe. But I understand the Bluebirds voicing their opinion there, but Wyatt Bingham is impossible to tackle, and at some point in time, that frustration bubbles over. That holding penalty is really, really, it's just tough for the Sentinel offense. They've been very productive up to that point in this drive, and I don't want to talk about drive killers too early because it is only first down, but now it's 1st and 20, and there's only so many rabbits in that hat. We've seen Wyatt Bingham pull a lot out tonight.
They were doing a great job here marching it down, but now with the flag and the call, they're going to be backed up. Still inside night territory, still trailing 24-13. And no penalty. They've declined the penalty, so it'll be 2nd down.
I think that's a smart play there by Coach Brockbank because it's only a difference about 4 or 5 yards, but it's that extra down that gets you that much closer to possessing the football. And we'll see. This is always the hard part because if Mountain Ridge is able to make a big play here, it may make a liar out of me, but won't be the first time on a broadcast that has happened.
Bingham, again, the pressure's coming, escapes, another flag comes out, and he's going to be brought down for a loss.
Finally, he's brought down for a loss, but I tell you what, Wyatt Bingham is able to escape rushes. He reminds me a little bit of Chucky Keaton in that regard, where it's almost like he's greased up or something. There's just no ability to bring him down, and maybe that's just old memories as a Utah football fan and watching Chucky Keaton escape literally every tackle. But I think we're going to get another holding penalty here regardless, and it does look like there is a Sentinel player down there at the 42-yard line.
So while the staff here at Mountain Ridge High School heads on to the fields, we'll take a quick step away on the Rewind Sports Network. So Lee's back on his feet, walking back now to the sideline. Good to see him up and walking after the injury timeout. It'll bring up a 3rd and long for Mountain Ridge.
You really got to worry here because they've had a hard enough time protecting Wyatt Bingham.
Bingham now looking to throw, tipped, intercepted! The 3rd interception, and it's 3rd interception for the Lone Peak Knights.
Well, it was Max Hamblin, I think, that actually ended up with the interception in his hands. And I wanted to say it was a fat guy INT, but he's not really a fat guy. He's just an interior guy. A great job there by the 6'4", 230-pound defensive lineman getting his hands on the ball. And, boy, you talk about it. Announcer's blessing, announcer's curse. Deflections have been an absolute killer for Mountain Ridge all night tonight.
3rd deflection, 3rd INT for the Lone Peak Knights defense. Keppa keeps, and he's going to be brought down maybe a yard on the gain.
Yeah, nice job by that Mountain Ridge defense there. It's a fool me once situation. They recognize that quarterback keeper from previous drive and not nearly the same amount of success, but more importantly, the clock continues to tick here for the Sentinels as there are 6 minutes left to play here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and long.
Lone Peak coming back to the line on 2nd down. Keppa with Sam Wright lined up in the backfield. Kepa will take the snap. He'll keep, he'll throw, caught over the middle by Mayberry, and Mayberry's brought down near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, we haven't called his name a ton tonight, but Mayberry so reliable. See, he creates the separation there, and more than anything, moves the chains. And now under 5:30 to play here, Mountain Ridge needs to make something happen.
Time is ticking away from the Sentinels. First down here for the Knights. Trying to get it now into Mountain Ridge territory. Kepa on first down. Takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Stocic. And he'll be wrestled down after maybe 3 on the gain. And the good news for Lone Peak is the clock keeps running.
Yeah, and for the Knights, it really underlines how critical that interception was, because not only does it give you possession of the football, but it allows you to really milk that clock. And talked about it, you only wanted to allow them one more offensive possession. And for Mountain Ridge, this is going to be a costly one, as they're able to just continually drive and pick up first downs.
Sentinels still have 2 timeouts. We'll see when Coach Mayfu and his staff decide to use those here on second down for the Knights. Kepa will keep. He'll roll out to his right. Has time and space. He'll slide down. Gets the first, and the clock continues to roll.
Yeah, just a really smart play by Kepa Nimatolu there, as he's able to get outside of the pocket and they just lose contain there for Mountain Ridge, and picks up the first down, slides down, knowing that it's all about the clock right now. And to your point, Alex, now you start to think about, if they get one more first down, you've got to start using those timeouts to conserve as much clock as possible. And more importantly, you really need to get a stop here, because if you let Lone Peak score, it's really putting yourself in a tough spot.
1st and 10 coming up now for the Knights. Ball snapped. Kepa with a keeper up the middle. Nice gain there from Kepa. 5 yards on the gain as he keeps. It'll be second down for Lone Peak.
And there you see the Sentinels take their first timeout. We'll try and settle down and get this defense fired up a little bit right now, as those big bodies. We talked about the offensive line from Lone Peak. They've done a really good job tonight of keeping Kepa upright for the most part. Now you're starting to see them lean on guys and really drive the football, especially on the ground. And look back on that completion to Jay-Sean Mayberry and just how critical that one was, because they got the very first down pickup. And now for the Sentinels, it's all about pulling out the stops. And I think this is where it becomes almost a battle of wits with the coaches, right? Because for Coach Mayfu and the defensive staff here at Mountain Ridge, what can we do to try and get a stop? And for Coach Brockbank, he's been in these situations a lot. Have to look for him to pull something out. I'm not saying it's going to be a trick play, but just haven't seen a slip screen for a little bit here. Maybe that's coming up next here.
Kepa on second down will take the snap. He'll drop back. He's looking deep towards the sideline. It is still waiting for the call. Caught by the Lone Peak Knights.
Just when you thought you might have had a shot, Coach Brockbank pulls it out there. Great call, great delivery by Kepa, and a great job to reel that one in. And Lone Peak now has the game firmly in grasp. They can run multiple plays here from the 1 yard line if they want to. And for Mountain Ridge, it's almost, you have to start thinking about letting them score just so you can get the ball back.
1st and goal from the 1. Kepa will barrel it in. And from up here, it looks like he was stopped short. Oh, a timeout taken prior to.
No, I do believe that the timeout came after he was stopped. And now the interesting part about it, Kepa lost his helmet again. So I don't think he's going to have to come out of the game because of the timeout. But the clock is stopped. You're out of timeouts now. It's showing one more on the board, but I think that was their third timeout. So if you're Mountain Ridge, now it's really tough territory because you've burned your last timeout. You've got to try and get a stop here. And even if you do hold, they've still got 3 downs that they can just drain the clock out. And with 3:32 left to play, that's a lot of time that you can take off the clock, especially with an 11-point lead right now. Just a critical completion there. An impressive throw from Nimetolu. Even better reception, and just you can see why this Lone Peak team was able to do what they did last week. And this week as well.
That ball is going to be set up after the timeout on 2nd and inches. Literally the length of the football away from the end zone. This part of the game brought to you by National Auto Plaza. National Auto Plaza, where you can find the best deals on the best cars, trucks, and SUVs with our legendary $3,500 rebate. Some fireworks in the distance.
Not sure if you can see that in the background, but
wonder what we're celebrating tonight, Brian.
It's Friday and football is back.
Second and goal, inches away from the end line. Ike Staley will keep, and Ike Staley is brought down.
Tackled in the backfield by Ken Montgomery.
So I do believe that for sure is the Sentinels' last time out. But a great play there to tackle Staley behind the line of scrimmage. And I believe that was number 32. If I'm not mistaken, for Mountain Ridge. Cannon Montgomery, yeah, from his outside linebacker position. And just you see him rushing back there, bringing Staley down. And what was a very, very dire situation has suddenly gotten a little more friendly for Mountain Ridge. If they can get a stop here, if you're Lone Peak, you're almost forced to kick the field goal just to get some points. And at that point in time, it's a 14-point game. Now with 3:25 left on the clock.
And no timeouts.
Yeah, it's not a ton of time, but you're saying there's a chance.
It's high school football. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah. I want to say there was a game a few weeks ago where somebody scored in like 7 seconds. If you watch the Rewind show with the great Jeff Hansen and the legendary Dane Stewart, you probably got to see that one.
Kepa under center. Will take the snap. He'll keep. Roll out to his right. Trying to get it out. Does. And into the end zone. Touchdown Lone Peak. Cade Henson with the catch.
What a call.
Sam Wright on the catch. My bad.
What a play. What a call. What a wonderful job by that Lone Peak offense. When they needed it most, Kepa drops back, draws the defense into him, and floats it out there. Sam Wright is wide open, and he waltzes into the end zone.
Carr, the kick is up. The kick is good. And Lone Peak extend the lead here. 31-13. We'll take a step away here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSL Sports. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Lone Peak leads at 31-13. Alex Napolis, he's Brian Brown. This part of the game brought to you by Taco Bell. Score big with Taco Bell and live mas. Delicious flavors to keep your spirits high. Brecken Carr will boot this one up and away. It'll sail through the end zone and out. So with a 31-13 deficit for Wyatt Bingham in this offense, what is the goal on this drive, Brian?
It was just a great job by that Lone Peak squad to recover the squib kick initially and then march down the field, put another touchdown on the board, and officially put this game out of reach. Now again, Alex, we talked about it. High school football, anything can happen, but right now for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, the task is very large.
Bingham comes out with an empty backfield. He'll drop back. The pressure's coming. He's going to be sacked. Nowhere to go as the Lone Peak defense all over Bingham. Looks like that was number 36, Tag Zundel there with the sack.
And you're seeing the injuries starting to take a toll a little bit there on that Mountain Ridge offensive line. Let's see what Bingham can put together here, but it is all about pressure for Lone Peak.
2nd and long. Bingham, empty backfield, gets it out quickly to Twilly. Twilly is able to make the catch, gets it back past the original line of scrimmage, and has them set up here with a 3rd and 5 coming up.
You can see it's a very hard-earned gain there. Just so much work and effort having to be put into getting yardage right now for Mountain Ridge.
Bingham again will drop back. He's going deep, looking back for Twilly, over Twilly and incomplete on 3rd down.
And this is a nice job there in coverage. Number 4, Westfeld Gardson, and he's done a great job all night. Not allowing everything over the head, and you see why Bingham trying to do anything to generate a big play. And fortunately for Mountain Ridge, they just don't have that game-breaking wide receiver out there on the edge.
Bingham will drop deep, intercepted, the 4th INT of the night, still on his feet, he might take it all the way, yes, Jaden Mayberry, pick 6, and the Knights will improve to 4-0.
Been waiting all night for a house party in the end zone, and Jaden Mayberry puts the exclamation point on a standout, stand-up victory for the Lone Peak Knights.
What can we say about this defense? 4 interceptions on the evening for the Lone Peak Knights.
And pending the PAT here, Alex, what was an 11-point game has quickly jumped to a score of 37-13. Just an incredible turn of events there in the last 2 minutes.
Carr gets the kick up. The kick is good, but the flags come out prior to. Huge play by Jaden Mayberry with a pick 6 to put the icing on the cake, the cherry on top for the Lone Peak Knights.
Yeah, she's singing tonight now, Alex. And for the Knights, this was I don't want to call it a trap game because every game you play at the high school level has a challenge that comes with it, but this one was an exception. I think this is one that you really showed a lot of growth and a lot of grit in overcoming a really tough, feisty Mountain Ridge team, but I think the Knights have really planted their flag and said, we're ready to be a part of this conversation. Very, very impressive performance for them tonight.
Coming up next for Lone Peak is a trip to California to take on Centennial High School in Corona, California.
Home to current BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff, amongst others. Centennial out of Corona, California, one of the, so to speak, powerhouses of the Inland Empire down there. So that'll be a great test for this Lone Peak team. But, you know, Utah squads have done extremely well traveling out of state. And so it's a fun opportunity for these kids to go down and show how good the football is here in state.
Kick for Bracken Carr is up, and it is good. And it'll be a 38-13 lead for the Lone Peak Knights. Coming up next for this Mountain Ridge side, a big showdown against the Farmington Phoenix. This part of the game brought to you by Rivian Capital, partnering in your peace of mind through planning and investment management. 2:10 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 38-13. Lone Peak leads it. extend the lead thanks to that pick 6 from Jaden Mayberry. And now Carr out to boot this one away. Kick is up. Doesn't reach the end zone this time, and Mountain Ridge will have a chance to return. Nice way to bounce out to the right there from Ty Homestead, but he's going to be brought down.
22-yard line. First down, Sentinels.
And the Sentinel offense will take the field and get the ball at about the 22-yard line. 2:04 left to play in this one, Alex, and a tall task ahead here. And for Wyatt Bingham, he's played such a phenomenal game all night. You know, that was really his first true interception where it was just a little bit above his receiver's head. And so you have to really shake that one off. See what you can do here with your offense. I would expect them to try and work the sidelines a little bit more, but you're also likely to see a lot of pressure here from Lone Peak.
Bingham, receiver in motion, will take the snap. He'll hand it off, or excuse me, that's not Wyatt Bingham. Change of quarterback as Jackson Hunt checks in to lead this offense.
And not altogether surprised by that one. You know, Bingham has taken a lot of hits tonight. I don't think it's anything to do with his play not being up to task as much as it is trying to get a younger player some time. And Jackson Hunt, a sophomore. Again, talk about this Mountain Ridge program. It's just really young. And they'll be back. You know, they've got a lot of season left to play and plenty of opportunity to make the playoffs and everything like that. And so as you keep an eye towards the future and trying to, you know, and the other thing to talk about a little bit, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but nowadays you have to give kids an opportunity to play. Otherwise, they're going to go find it somewhere else. The transfer portal is not just a college football thing anymore.
Good to see the sophomore Jackson Hunt out taking some reps. He'll take the snap. Hand off to Beck. Cam Beck stays in the game as he gets the first yard gain here. First down coming up for the Sentinels with 53 seconds left. First and 10, ball on the 33-yard line as the clock continues to run down here at Mountain Ridge High School. Hunt will take the snap, hand off to Beck. Beck nowhere to go as he's stuffed. Maybe a yard on the gain there, but Lone Peak defense all over the run.
And they may get one more playoff here. We'll see what happens. But for this Mountain Ridge team, it's a tough way to finish this one, but they were in there every step of the way. And 12 seconds left, 10 now here on the clock. They're going to let this one take off.
Mountain Ridge deep into the fourth quarter, still in this one. It was 24-13, and then Lone Peak just decided, hey, we're going to kick it into the next gear, and they're going to walk away and make it 4-0.
As the kids like to say, Lone Peak called game, and that was that. And huge congratulations to the Knights. Great job, great effort. Fought through the win hangover and finished this game on a strong note. And for this Mountain Ridge Sentinel program, you know, there's nothing to hang your head about. This was a competitive, fiery effort from them. And they were in it every step of the way, just not enough juice there at the end. And you can see that they've got something special building out here at Mountain Ridge.
Final score here at Mountain Ridge High School, 38-13. The Lone Peak Knights take it. Lone Peak head out to California, go to Corona, and represent the state of Utah the way you know how. Brian, before we sign off, who is your MVP? Who's the player that sticks out to you the most tonight?
Well, it's a tough one, but I think when you throw for touchdowns and also catch a touchdown, hard to turn down the play by Kepa Nemotalo for this one. And I apologize, Kepa. I always struggle with pronouncing your last name, but I am very familiar with your game. And you did a great job tonight, so congratulations to Kepa and to this Lone Peak football squad. Just a terrific bounce, I guess not really a bounce back, but a terrific bounce forward win for them as they head down to California next week.
Kepa, the MVP of the night, and that is going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Skin Science, the presenting sponsor of Lone Peak Football. We'll catch you guys next week. We'll be back somewhere out there, possibly the Orem game. We'll see. But from Alex Napolis, Brian Brown, huge shout out to Trevor Allen on the camera, and from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Everyone have a good night, and we'll talk to you next